Hi there, it's John here from Stafford Volkswagen. Thank you for taking the time to watch this very short video that myself and my colleague Chris are putting together for you. So, new car day should all be about the excitement of picking up your new car and driving away. The last thing you want to be doing is sitting looking through hours and hours of controls with us. So I put together this really short video just to show you some absolute basics, just to get you on the road safely. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the exterior, show you a couple of exterior bits and bobs, and then we're going to jump inside the car and again show you a couple of basics just to get you on your way. So let's start with the exterior. We're going to head to the back of the car first. First things first, let's have a look at the fuel cap. So you'll find with all VWs that the fuel cap is on the driver's side of the car. It doesn't change for any model, it's always there. So the only thing that you really need to know is that when the car is unlocked, you push the actual cap itself in. That will then spring out. Then just open the door, simple as that, and then twist it anti-clockwise to open it. Some models you will find that the flap itself has a little catch or something that you can put the nozzle onto whilst you're filling up. And then when you've finished, I'm sure I don't need to tell you this, put it back in, twist it clockwise till it clicks, and then just close the cap, push it in, and that's it. There's only one model that's any different, and that's the up. For refilling the up, you will need the key to remove the actual the fuel cap itself, but there's no buttons in the car to release the door. It is as simple as just push in to release and then push back in when you finish. So next we're on to the boot or boot release. So you will find, excluding a couple of models in the range, that most of them are operated by the VW badge at the back. So to get into the boot, push the top of the badge and then just use the badge itself to pull the boot open. I'm just going to show you underneath the boot lining here. Again, in the majority of VW models, you will find that there is a space saver spare wheel. In here will also be all of your tools, so you'll usually locate your locking wheel nut in here, all the tools, etc., jack. So you'll find most bits and bobs under there. Again, there's only a couple of models in our range that have tyre inflation kits. The great news is, like I say, that most will have a spare tyre in there. So before the car leaves us here, we will have obviously checked all the tyre pressures anyway, but if you do have any sort of warning come on in the car that you're losing tyre pressure or one of the tyres is low, the tyre pressures will be in one of two locations. So the first one is here, on what we would call the B pillar of the car. So the sticker is down here for your tyre pressures. This is where it is on the Golf. The second option would be inside of the fuel cap itself. So there may be a sticker on the inside of there, but it will be in one of those two locations. So now we've jumped inside the car, let's have a look at a couple of bits inside here. So first things first, let's touch on the wing mirrors. So in our models, there's two primary places that these are. So on the Golf, obviously, as you can see, it's actually on the door card itself here. In some of the other models, the Polos, for instance, it will be down here next to the window switches. So dead simple, to adjust your left mirror, for instance, you would just flick that to the left there, and then you almost use this like a joystick. So you'd push it up, you push it down, push it left or push it right, or in any particular direction that you want to adjust it. And if you wanted to change the right, funnily enough, you just flick it across to the right. The two buttons that you can see down here, or the two stickers as such, this one here is for defrosting or demisting the exterior mirrors. And this one here is to manually fold the mirrors. So if you were going down a narrow street, for instance, and you wanted to fold the mirrors manually, you just twist across to there, which would fold the mirrors in, as I say, manually. When you're finished, you can just pop it back up to 0 or leave it in left or right, whatever you fancy. So next, let's have a look at the lights. So again, on all of our models, this is very much the same. So most of the models now do have the automatic headlight function. So in that case, all I would suggest is flick it to the auto setting and then just leave the lights alone. They will turn on when it gets dark and they'll turn off again when it gets light. If you don't like that, or your particular car hasn't got this feature, that one there is for side lights. That one there is for the main headlights. And if you want the fog lights on,
you'd actually pull that switch out. So you can see it's clicked out a couple of times there. So out for the fog lights and then to switch them off back in. But as I say, what you would usually do is just leave it on auto and the car will just look after them on its own. So next, let's have a look at indicators and windscreen wipers. So first, let's have a look at the windscreen wipers. So again, a lot of our models now do have rain sensing wipers. So at the moment, this is actually off, so the wipers wouldn't be on at all. To turn them on to the rain sensing setting, what you need to do is actually just push it up lightly once. So that first click up to that angle there is now on rain sensing. So it very much does what it says on the tin. When it starts raining, they'll turn on. When it stops raining, they'll turn off. On the top here, you do have a little clicky switch which can go left and right. So that adjusts the sensitivity or the speed even when they're on the rain sensing setting. So you can make them go a bit quicker or back down to the left, make them go a bit slower. If, for instance, the rain sensing wipers aren't going quick enough for you, you can override them and keep pushing the stalk up. The higher up that stalk goes, the quicker the windscreen wipers are going to go. To turn them back off again, all the way back down to the bottom, and then they're off. To put water on the windscreen, you would pull it towards you. To put water on the rear window, if applicable, you would push it away from you. Pushing it away from you just once as well, that activates the rear windscreen wiper, again if applicable. Over to the other side of the steering wheel, indicators. I'm sure I don't need to go into too much depth here. Right, left, to flash somebody is towards you, and if you had your headlights on, to put the high beam on, you'd actually push it away from you. To push it towards you will just flash. To keep the high beam on, push it away, and then you would see the high beam symbol come on the dashboard. So let's just show you very quickly as well how to open the bonnet. So again, most bonnets on our models, the catch is here, which is down at the bottom of the A-pillar. So to open it, pull it away from you, you'll hear the bonnet release, and then that's it. So let's have a look at the front. So these catches differ in place to place. They do tend to stay around the actual badge itself, somewhere in the centre line of the bonnet. On the Golf, it is actually directly above the badge. It's a little plastic clip that you would pull up. It is pneumatic, so there's no more stalks you have to put up or stands or anything like that. It's all fine. What I would advise to most of my customers is the only thing you realistically need to worry about under here is where to put your washer fluid. So washer fluid is blue top cap here. Again, it will differ place to place, but it usually is somewhere around the front of the car. So yeah, decent washer fluid in there. You can get it from our parts department. Other things to look out for as well is obviously you do still have your dipstick. So if you want to check your fuel, your oil, you've still got the option to do so there as well. But realistically, if the car needs anything, it will tell you anyway. So that pretty much concludes our very short video, just showing you a few little bits and bobs on the car, as I say, to get you away safely when you first collect it. So just one final point to touch on, or two should I say. I need you to download 2 apps for me before you get here. So the first one is something called My VW or My Volkswagen. So go on the App Store or Play Store, download it. It is free of charge. You will need to register. Don't worry about anything after that point. Just download, register it, and we'll talk about it when you get here. The second one is VW Connect or Volkswagen Connect. That is another app on the Play Store or iStore or App Store, whatever it's called. So download those, register for them. We'll go into a little bit more detail when you get here, but if you could do that for me, that'd be fantastic. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. Any questions before you pick your car up, please feel free to give me or your salesman a call. We're happy to help. But other than that, we look forward to seeing you on the day of collection. And thanks again.